Hello and welcome back to my channel where I like to have fun with all things beauty while being critical about what I accept into my collection. Today I am going over the final week of the Ulta sale. So this is week 3. We're going to start with Saturday and I'm just going to go through every product, talk about my thoughts, talk about the stuff that I've tried and the stuff that I might be picking up. One thing that I'm realizing going through this every week is there's not a lot of things that are exciting, but there are a lot of staples. So that might be part of why I feel like I am personally seeing less people do these videos this year. I just feel like even though they went back to the original format, which is generally better for everyone, they didn't really do the best job resurrecting the excitement. There's just not a ton of things here that I think people are worried about selling out. And for that reason, I may not do these videos in this way going forward. But I mean, we'll see. Who knows what's going to happen in the spring. Regardless, I'm a completionist, so I'm definitely going to see this through and finish this week. And I'll do a recap talking about all the things that I did pick up, what I think was and wasn't worth it, total spent, and all of that. So a haul, I guess. And then I'll definitely be talking about the Sephora sale. I know personally I save a favorites list all year for that. So I just think in general that'll be more exciting and that will mostly be 1 or 2 videos. It's not going to be drawn out like this. So anyway, jumping right in, Saturday, September 14th. First up, we have these hair masks from Way. I know a lot of people love this brand. I think a lot of people love them for their fragrance, among other things, but I've just never been that blown away. I do like the fragrance, especially in the body products, but my gut feeling is that this is just good, but it's nothing to write home about. I don't know. It's affordable enough, so I don't think people would be disappointed, and who knows, I might be tempted by this, but just generally, I don't jump up and down for that brand in terms of them having anything that's super unique on the market. Next, from IT Cosmetics, we have the CC Nude Glow and the CC Cream Illumination version. I believe that I've tried both of these. I know for sure that I've tried the Nude Glow. I tried the CC Plus, the matte, the original, and the illuminating version. So I believe I've tried both of these and I like them. I prefer the OG, if I'm honest, but I do use these because I live in South Florida. If I didn't live in South Florida, I don't think I would bother. But I like to always have something like this on hand if I'm really going to be outside. I'm always going to use sunscreen first. I'm never going to rely on a foundation for my sunscreen because you can't use enough and the SPF value gets reduced to a point where it's almost pointless. So I'm never going to do that, but if I have to be outside during the day, I always like to have as many layers of protection as I can. So I will be getting the CC Illuminating version. The SPF is higher and the Nude Glow is just a little bit too sheer for me. I remember not really liking that one. Would I be buying this just as a foundation? No, I really wouldn't, just because I have foundations that I like so much better than this. But if you're in the market for this kind of thing, I think this is one of the more elegant options for sure. You know, I think this might be the first year I don't see the Estee Lauder Futurist foundation in this sale, but I use them interchangeably. They both serve the same purpose for me, and they're good. It's this at $47, I would never pay full price for something like this. I could absolutely find something else cheaper, but for what it's used for in my particular collection, I certainly think it's nice enough. Then we have some Buxom Select Plump Shop Lip Serums. I'm not going to bother with this. I do like a lot of the Buxom products. I like their glosses and I like their lipsticks, but I almost feel like this is just adding a product in the lineup for the sake of having us purchase something else. I don't find any of these plumpers to be, well, they're certainly not effective long term, and for me, they're not even that effective short term that I would really bother. Plus, I have more lip glosses that I could ever use in a lifetime, so I'm good. I'm going to pass on that. Then we have IT brushes for Ulta. I think all of these are solid. I think that this is a great way to go if you're in need of brushes and these shapes speak to you. I don't think you'd be disappointed with any of them. And we have a Coach perfume. The bottle's pretty, but it's probably very feminine and I tend to not like those. Oh, and CeraVital. Thank God. I mean, it would not be an Ulta sale if they did not include CeraVital at some point. This is snake oil. I'll straight up say that. That's my opinion. I am not a doctor, so obviously I can't say that conclusively, but I have tried 2 boxes of this because I was curious enough years ago when I knew a lot less about all of this. The marketing, I guess, got me, and I bought at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 boxes, always at 50% off though. I would never pay full price. And I took it as directed. I did all the things. I absolutely saw no difference at all. And I just genuinely feel like if this was really as good as they said at this point, we would know. And we have Anastasia, Beverly Hills. We have a brow powder duo and a brush. I am happy to see that brow powders are back. I feel like that's always a delivery system that has interested me. I'm going to pass because I'm not interested in trying new brow things right now. But I think a lot of people are going to like that. Then from Philosophy, we have the Anti-Wrinkle Miracle Worker Line Correcting Moisturizer. I don't really mess with Philosophy facial skincare. I just find that it's not the best for my sensitive skin, but I don't think it's bad by any means. And they also have a micro delivery exfoliating facial wash. I think this might be great if you're in the market for an exfoliating cleanser. From Dip Hue, I'm just guessing that that's how it's said. I really have no idea. We have these gloss glaze color enhancers, I think. I have tried these in this sale in the past, and I didn't really notice the biggest difference. I don't know if you can tell at all. I just used my Madison Reed hair dye a week ago, so I feel like my color is a little bit better for about another week. And then all of my roots will come back. I like that hair dye because it's gentle, but it does not last on me personally. I don't know about the deeper colors. I've only ever tried 9A, I think one of the medium blondes. But regardless, I do it every few months. I get the urge to sort of lighten things up, and I bought this in the past hoping that it might help maintain my color a little bit longer. I can say it did not work for me. It did make my hair look nice and healthy and shiny, so I don't know. I might be tempted to try this again, but for blonde anyway, I didn't notice anything like hugely helpful. I would almost say the John Frieda blonde shampoos, while they might be slightly more damaging, did more to lighten my hair from a shampoo than this ever did. So it's like a trade-off, I guess. This is probably a little bit more healthy for your hair. Seen the entire brand. So I did try shampoo and conditioner from this. I found it to be slightly drying on my hair, but I have no idea. I really listen to me about hair. Like, I cut it myself. I don't even bother to blow dry it. I don't know a lot about that, but this was just okay for me. We have NARS bronzers. I, like most people, own a Laguna bronzer and it's just fine, but I don't use it. I have other bronzer colors that I like better, so it'll be a pass, even though, I have no problem with the formula or anything like that. I think if a color speaks to you, it's a good purchase, but I certainly don't feel the need to buy any more of those. Sunday, September 15th. First up, we have Lola V Glossing Detangler. I am a big user of detangler because my hair is so thin that it knots up so badly I have to sleep with a braid. So detangler is definitely my friend. I'm on the fence about trying this. Jennifer Aniston has gorgeous hair, but I've never really been tempted by any of the hair products she sells because I just don't think she's selling the stuff she actually uses. So that kind of marketing doesn't really work on me, but I might be interested to try this. I'm not really sure. Then from Lancome, we have the Regenery HPN 300 Peptide Anti-Aging Cream, SPF 25. That sounds like they're trying to convince you that this is something really special because it's confusing. I don't know. It doesn't impress me. I don't buy moisturizers with SPF because my skin is too sensitive for that, and they almost always are using American filters, and I don't really get along with any American SPF filters. The chemical filters irritate my skin, and the mineral filters dry my skin out. So it's like a lose-lose situation for me. Plus, the SPF is always so low, and I don't use a 1/4 teaspoon of moisturizer. I just don't like it. I feel like it just makes the product work for less people. And very genuinely, I'm not impressed by this ingredient deck. I think it's probably the kind of thing that smells good, feels good, is going to work for a lot of people. But if you have sensitivities, it is not ideal, but you are not missing out because you could get equally good products without the irritation somewhere else. We have Tarte Amazonian Clay 16-hour full coverage foundation. I've heard decent things about this. This is definitely for more normal to oily combo skin. Definitely not for me, so I can't speak much about that, but I've heard people like it. Next up from Tula, we have the filter primer. We have the regular and the supersized, so $38 or $60. I believe I've tried a sample of this, but it didn't impress me. I don't know. I have other primers, and yeah, this definitely has some ingredients that could be sensitizing to some people, so I'm going to skip it. I don't think it's a bad product. I know tons of people love Tula. From Fenty Beauty, we have the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. This is not made for my skin type, but if you do have combo to oily skin, I think a lot of people love this, and I think it probably works great. From Urban Decay, we have the Vice Hydrating Lipstick. This is one of their cult classic products that people absolutely love. I've never tried it, so I can't speak to it. All I can really say is none of the colors really grab me, so I'm going to pass, but I have heard great things about the formula. From Kopari, we have a Ultra Renew Retinol Body Cream. I really enjoy retinol in my body cream. Unfortunately, this just looks a little bit too expensive for what it is. This at $42, so $21. Sounds okay, except it's only 4.7 ounces. I use body cream every single day, all over my entire body. So I would go through this way too fast, and I can get the same thing basically from Gold Bond on Amazon for much cheaper. So I'm going to stick with that, but I do like Kopari a lot. I think this bottle is beautiful, and I think this is probably a very nice product, just not the most cost effective. From Origins, we have the Ginseng Into the Glow Brightening Serum. I love ginseng in my facial skincare. My problem with Origins is that they just use too many essential oils and it's not worth the irritation. So I'm going to get ginseng from other brands. I'm just going to pass when it comes to Origins. Then we have a Tarte, the Buffer Foundation Brush. This is actually a really pretty brush. I think it's very cute, but I certainly don't need it. From Virtue, we have select shampoos and conditioners. Over the years, I've tried quite a few products from this brand, including the hydrating and the thickening detangling line, whatever it is. It was all nice. It was not a repurchase for me for any of it, and actually now that I'm looking here, the dark blue one was the one I bought more, so I don't even see the one I like the best here. I'm gonna skip. I'm done wasting my money trying new hair care during this sale. From OC, we have the Collagen Dream Night Cream. I have tried so many products from this brand in the past, and I will say, I think I came to the conclusion that I really like the body care, but I'm just not that big of a fan of any of their facial skincare. It is just slightly irritating, and I just feel like I can find better products from other places. So nothing about this is interesting enough for me to risk all of that, so I'm definitely going to skip. From Stila, we have the liquid eyeshadows. Oh, good grief, this is in the sale every year. All right, I'm gonna try to find my personal swatches from last year's sale because I actually caved in and I bought a whole bunch of them. Have I used them after I swatched them? Absolutely not. I did not. I don't use these. I want to use them because they are pretty. They are really pretty to look at, and I always think that I'm going to make them work as eyeliner. I never make them work as eyeliner, and because of that, this is just not a good purchase for me. I think if you are in the market for this, though, you know that you're in the market for this, and I will say the worst thing about them is that they dry out. Other than that, they perform well. They never irritated my eyes, so there's nothing like inherently wrong with them. They're just something that I don't use very often. From Belief, we have the Moisturizing Eye Balm Cream. I might be picking this up this year. I feel like this is definitely not an exciting eye cream for $24, and that's just okay. It has fragrance and essential oils in it that might not work for everybody, but I don't know. I mean, I do kind of need an eye cream because the one I have currently just doesn't work that great for me. It stings a little bit, so who knows, maybe I'll pick this up. From Indie Lee, we have the CoQ10 Toner Mist. I have bought several of these during this sale. Unfortunately, I feel like it's just not the most hydrating for me personally, and I have too many things in place of this. Between the COSRX X 6 peptide and just bought the Claire's toner, I don't know. I have a ton of things that are just a little bit more hydrating than this. But the bottle is beautiful. The pump is nice. I love the mister because I can just spray it on my face and I don't have to put it in my hands first, which is fabulous. It absorbs well. It sort of checks all the boxes, but I already have CoQ10 from my Timeless serum that has peptides also. So this is just a skip for me because it just doesn't make sense with my collection the way it is, but I certainly don't think it's a bad toner. I think a lot of people will be picking this up and will be very happy with it. From Kula, we have a makeup setting spray with SPF. That's going to be a pass. I understand in theory that using something like this to touch up your SPF throughout the day could be useful. It doesn't make sense for somebody with skin as finicky as me to be hoping that this works out. And I don't know, SPF in a spray in general, I just don't think is a great idea. When I want to touch up my SPF, I like the sticks better, and I have definitely found ways to use those without messing my makeup up that would probably work better than something like this spray. So that's just my personal feeling on the whole matter, but I do like that they're trying. From Nabla, we have a bunch of lip products. I've heard great things about Nabla lip products, but I'm just really not in the market for anything like that right now. And we have Alterna, Caviar, anti-aging, different things. I've tried tons of samples of these over the years. There are a lot of times in Ulta sample sets. Nothing ever blew my mind, so that's an easy pass. From Jane Iredale, we have the Pure Pressed Base Mineral Foundation Refillable Compact. I have tried this in the past in this sale. I will say, as far as powder foundations go, this is probably the most dry skin friendly by far. That being said, I never reach for it. Even though it worked okay, I still use other foundation. My other real reason for trying this was that I thought that maybe this would work as a setting powder instead. And again, I have other powders that I like better than this, so I'm gonna pass, but a ton of people love this stuff. We have Cara Unique Kits. I'm assuming keratin treatments. I don't mess with that on my own. I just don't bother. We have Better Not Younger hair care things. I have tried a few things from this brand, and I felt the same way as I did about the Caviar. Nothing really jumped out to me, so I'm not even going to bother looking. And finally, from Beauty Stat Cosmetics, we have a vitamin C eye cream. I think this might be great for a lot of people. I personally don't feel like I need vitamin C specifically in my eye cream, because my eyes are sensitive. So I'm not gonna take any chances with something like this, but I mean, I've heard decent things about Beauty Stat. Nothing that's ever interested me enough to try them, but I've heard decent things. We have some Self Tanner from Loving Tan. This might be the one tanning product that I try. Because I've never tried anything from Loving Tan and I've always been curious, I use Self Tanner maybe once a year. But I certainly don't need it. I believe that I have a tanning lotion actually from one of these sales in the past, and it's still sitting in my drawer untouched, so I have no business buying another one. And actually, if I'm honest, the Fenty body sauce is probably the product that I would choose to use above most self tanners, just because the color is great and it leaves such a nice finish on the skin. I mean, obviously it's more like body makeup, it's not a permanent tan, but it just has such a pretty look that unless for some reason I don't know, wearing white pants or something like that, I'm gonna pick this instead. So all that to say, I have no business even considering this, but I might anyway. So from Fresh, we have a black tea anti-aging moisturizer. I've tried travel sizes of this, and I remember liking it, but there's no way that I think this is worth what they're charging. It's $95 full price. So even 50% off, like absolutely not. That'll be a pass, but I'm sure it feels nice. A Peter Thomas Roth Potency Vitamin C Power Serum. I'm definitely skipping on this. It's just absolutely more expensive than it needs to be, so I'm not even tempted. I mean, the ingredients look fine, but there are definitely other serums that have THD ascorbate in it that you could get for a better price. Joico Hair Care, I know nothing about that brand. Smashbox, okay, so these face palettes, I mean, I actually own the Step by Step Contour, the 3-pan palette that comes with that mini brush that I lost immediately and never thought twice about it. I mean, those powders actually ended up hard panning on me, so I just think there are better options. I think back when this came out, this was one of the only ones. So it was great for a lot of people for that reason, and they may be nostalgic about it, but I just think today we have better options. So I'm not tempted by any of these except for the new Halo Sculpt and Glow face palettes. Ugh, I don't want this. Like, I'm pissed that I want this. Because I don't need to spend the money on something like this, but I probably will. This will probably be the one thing that I pick up for sure, just because I feel like I need to know. And we have the potato peel from Beekman 1802. This has 15% glycolic acid, 10% lactic acid, and potato pulp. I've heard good things about this. Unfortunately, I have all of the chemical exfoliants that I need. You know, with my skin type, I can't use them that frequently. So when I buy one bottle or one serum of something, it lasts me a really long time. And for that reason, I know that I have no business buying this, although it looks really nice. I've heard good things about this. I think if you're looking for a chemical exfoliator, I don't think you'll be mad if you pick this up. Okay, from KVD, we have a bunch of lip liners, the Dazzle Gel Hyper Metallic Eyeshadow, and the Dazzle Stick, basically. That's what I know it as anyway. I picked the Dazzle Stick up last year, and I'll definitely include some swatches because the swatches are impressive. Unfortunately, I don't use it, and I think that's just the simple fact that I don't reach for eyeshadow sticks almost ever. That being said, if you asked me to go through all of my eyeshadow sticks and I could only keep one, it would be this one because none of them are shimmery. This is the only one that actually is shimmery. It's impactful. I have in a pinch used it as a one and done. It's pretty. It's fun. Would I buy it again? Absolutely not. No way. I would definitely not buy it again. And I'm 1,000 times more interested in the Dose of Colors version of this that just came out. I don't know. I mean, that one's $26 and definitely not on sale. But the shimmer in that just looks more even and pretty to me. This one is a little bit big and chunky, and I don't know. I'm a shadows girl. I'm always going to stick to my shadows.
Editing in some footage here of the KVD Dazzle Stick next to Space Cowboy from Urban Decay and Fenty Diamond Dust. I did want to mention that the KVD stick also has a cooling effect and is marketed very similar to the Dose of Colors. I think the biggest difference is the base pigment here is more noticeable, but I haven't seen the other one in person, so I don't really know how transparent it is. So that would be the reason I picked the other one up more than anything. But regardless, if I'm being realistic, I think a lot of these sticks, even the more sparkly ones, has to do with lighting and good marketing. I don't think they actually outshine shadows in this case. I think here we can see that the Fenty Diamond Dust is still the winner, and I think Space Cowboy too. I think it is more special. So needless to say, I certainly don't think this is a bad product, but I wouldn't repurchase it if I lost it. Whereas if I lost Diamond Dust or Space Cowboy, I absolutely would repurchase those.
I've always really liked their eyeliner. I have plenty, and they're not the only game in town. Like, I prefer the Urban Decay one, but that one's a little bit expensive, so this is a good deal. If I were to get anything here, it would definitely be the eyeliner. Really, I should say, I use liquid liner for one reason and one reason only: false lashes. If I'm not wearing false lashes, I definitely don't wear liquid eyeliner. I'm not skilled enough to do a wing with one of those, so it's a very limited use case, but I have tried a bunch, and this is definitely one of my favorites. Then from Pure, we have a longwear foundation and concealer. I'm good. Like, I can't say that I've tried anything from Pure, but I just feel like, I don't know, they were popular for a while, now they're not. Probably for a reason. These products are probably just okay. Yeah, I'm really not tempted by that. Then we have a hair dryer. I mean, it certainly looks cool. And finally, we have Nick Stenson Beauty, and that is hair care. Wednesday, September 18th. First up, we have the Bumble and Bumble Thermal Heat Protection Hair Misting. I don't even dry my hair, so I have no idea. I've heard good things about Bumble and Bumble, but I really don't know much about the brand. Then from Kylie Cosmetics, we have a lip oil. I'm good. I have enough lip oils to last a couple lifetimes, and I don't need one from Kylie. Then from IGK, we have First Class Dry Shampoo. I am tempted by this. I like IGK. I like everything I've ever tried from them, so I don't know that I really need a dry shampoo that is this intense, but I don't know. I might pick it up. I'm sort of on the fence. Then from Nude Sticks, we have a bunch of sticks. I have a ton of these. I picked up a ton of these over the years in these sales, and I don't use any of them. Not a single one. I had a lip one that I liked for a little while, but even that I stopped using, so I'm just going to pass because I won't use that enough. Stila liquid liners. I actually haven't tried these, but I've heard good things. Then we have Patchology eye gels. My opinion is these are just okay. These are like super basic, nothing special. I prefer the reusable ones. That's just me. But I certainly don't think these are bad. You know, when I have had these, throwing them in the fridge and putting them on, like it feels good and they're effective, but I've tried better. I don't know. I mean, they're not that exciting, but at 50% off, they're fine. For Kai, we have the Super Strength Collection. Okay, so I was tempted by this last year. I was really interested. I had good experiences with Frederick Fekkai hair care way back in the day when I was like a teenager. I don't know. I was curious. I tried the whole lineup. It did nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. I would wash my hair with this and then I could not get a brush through it without detangler. So if I can't even do that, like if I can't even get a brush through my wet hair without a ton of detangler after using a shampoo, conditioner, and mask, it's not for me. So this line is definitely not for me. But again, I don't know a ton about hair. And we have from Proactive, the 3-step routine for acne. I've never tried anything from Proactive, so I really can't say much other than I haven't heard the best things. I haven't heard a ton of people really liking their stuff, so I'm not tempted to try it even though I have acne. I'd prefer to stick with my online Curology type stuff, but you know, if it's still around, somebody's got to be liking it. From Volition, we have Select Serums. We have a Skin Rhythm Balancing and Clearing Serum, a Snow Mushroom Water Serum with peptides and vitamin C, and a Strawberry Sea Brightening Serum with vitamin C and hyaluronic acid. I mean, I like snow mushroom and peptides, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they use phenoxyethanol, and that's just a little bit irritating for me. That's not most people, but for that reason, I don't know. I'm okay. I'm not super interested by anything here. We have a PMD blue light therapy spot treatment. I actually haven't tried blue light therapy for my acne. I like the idea that this is a device that you can move around your face to problematic areas, but the head seems like a decent size, so you can actually get a decent treatment area. What I really hate is the itty bitty ones. It's like, I guess if you actually just have one pimple, that's fine, but most people with acne, bad enough to want to treat it with something like this, have a few more than one. Regardless, I think it's too expensive. I don't know. I mean, these light therapy devices, most of the decent ones are more expensive. So it's not so much that, it's mostly just that I haven't heard enough good things that really make me feel like this is worth what it's costing. I don't know though. If money were no object, I would absolutely try it and do a test and come back and tell everybody about my experience. I don't have that kind of money to throw around, unfortunately. And from Live Tinted, we have the Hue Skin Serum Concealer. I've heard good things about this brand, but I've never tried anything from them at all, so I really can't speak to that. Finally, Thursday, September 19th. We've reached the last day. So first up, we have Supergroup Mineral Matte Screen SPF 40. This is a mineral sunscreen that will work for a ton of people. It will not work for me because I find zinc drying. It's very drying on my skin, but I know that this is a hugely popular brand and their stuff will probably work for 95% of people. So I think it's fabulous. I'm really glad that they're including sunscreens like this because I do want them to be more affordable to more people. So I think that's a solid purchase for a ton of people. Then we have MAC Locked Kiss Lipstick. This is liquid lipstick and a cream. I don't know. They're locking technology 24 hours wear. I really don't know anything about long wear lip stuff because I have painfully dry lips. So I don't mess with any of it. I think MAC makes some of the best lip products, but I'll be passing on that. Then from Dime, we have an eau de toilette. This one is woodsy and floral. I'm not a florals girl, so I'll be passing. Then from Lancome, we have Monsieur Big Mascara. $30 to me is insane for a mascara, especially like a Lancome. Like, I don't know why I feel that way, but to me that's crazy. And I have trouble with even $15. So I know so many people love this. I think it's probably a great mascara, but I don't know. I do pretty good with my Last Princess. $4.99. I don't know. I guess I just feel like my expectations for mascara is pretty low to begin with. Then we have the Clarins Instant Lift Effect and Glow Boosting Face Mask. I'm going to skip on this. This has cooling properties and I know that will be irritating for me. It just will be. Like, my skin cannot handle that. A few years ago, I tried their V-Lift, where you just put it on the lower half of your face and it's supposed to help with inflammation and give a lifted effect. It really didn't work on me. Granted, I don't know how much swelling I have around here, so I don't know if I was really the target demographic, but I feel like if I want something like that, I will put something in the fridge and I'll get the cooling effect that way. A face mask, even. I could put a face mask on my skin and depuff that way. I just personally rather do that than get it from a cream because I know my skin and I know my skin would not like this. As much as I love Clarins skincare in general, the double serum, everything that I've tried has always been really nice. I don't think this is for me. I think it is a little bit of a gimmick, but at the same time, I don't think it's completely ineffective. I think that this will probably absolutely help depuff. I just don't think it's going to be anything super crazy that you couldn't do with other things. However, I know a ton of people are going to grab this and I think you're going to be happy with it. You know, I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's the only show in town, especially for $80, $40 on sale even. And we have Biolage Color Lash Shampoo and Conditioner, another shampoo and conditioner option. Then we have It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Powder. I have tried the loose version of this, so it is the pressed and the loose version. It wasn't great for my dry skin. That's all I can really say about it. I think it did a good job. It was very effective. It was smoothing. It was a nice powder. I think it was a very nice powder, but I don't need oil control. And, you know, this has that, which is great for most people. I don't even have an oily T-zone anymore, so I really can't speak to that. I just know it looks really nice at first, and then by the end of the day, I'm looking a little bit dry. So just my personal experience, but I've heard good things about this. Next, we have the Belief Aqua Bomb Brightening C Cream. This does not seem to have a lot of vitamin C in it. I'm sort of confused. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on in this ingredient list, and definitely some things that look like they could be irritating, so I'm just not even going to really attempt that one. I like to be a little bit more targeted. If I'm going to use vitamin C, I like to know what form of it and why I'm using it, and this just looks like one of those mishmash of things that's probably going to work for a majority of people, but it's too much of a risk for me. Then we have the Derma Flash Sonic Derma Planing Peach Fuzz Removal. Okay, I shave my face. I don't do it that often. I should probably do it more. My biggest reason is my eyebrows. I'm always so paranoid putting anything sharp around my eyebrows or my hairline that because of that, I just don't bother. But at least once every 2 months, I shave my face with a men's razor because I like the way that my makeup looks. That's it. It's not deeper than that. I don't really do it for the exfoliation, so it's not dermaplaning. Like real dermaplaning has to do with exfoliating the top layer of skin. I try to not do that because my skin is already dry enough. I don't need to be doing that. But I really feel like a tool like this is not necessary. I think you are paying more for the experience. the fact that it hopefully lasts a long time, and I guess it vibrates. It probably feels nice. I don't know. I'm sure that this does a decent job, but I've never seen anything about it that makes me feel like it's worth it even at 50%. But, I'm also using face shaving in a very limited capacity. So I don't know. I mean, would a regular old dermaplaning blade work just as good? Probably. You could probably do just as much without the vibration. Then we have some more hair dryers. And finally, the InnerSense Organic Beauty Create Volume Roll Control. Yeah, none of that applies to me. So, okay. That is it. That is everything. That's all she wrote. I'm thrilled to be done with this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure by the time I'm even done editing this final video, we will already probably know the dates of the Sephora sale, if not very, very soon. And I'm really hoping that I can be a little more upbeat for those. I have to say, if you bore with me through this, I appreciate it so much. I am not like by any means a high energy person. I don't even think as a very young child I had a lot of energy, but I am coming off of sleep medication. So I have insomnia, like pretty significant insomnia. It comes and goes, so it's not constant. But I've been like that since I was a kid, a teenager. I'm not really sure when it started, but I was very young and I never wanted to go on the more heavy duty medication for it. So I just used the over the counter like ZQuil type stuff. But when I'm on that for a period of time, I just like to wean myself off because I feel like it does make me more tired during the day. And even though I'm getting more sleep, so I don't know, it's like a weird trade off. So I'll use it when I'm desperate, but I don't like to stay on it. And honestly, I was relying on it for several weeks and abruptly decided, randomly, for no real reason, that I was just going to stop taking it about 2 weeks ago at this point. And I haven't really, I think I've gotten like one really good night's sleep since then. So I'm struggling to keep it energetic. I've also just been crazy busy. So I haven't really been home and had time to dedicate to any of this. Normally, I would refilm a video like this. Like if it was really bad and low energy, I would just redo the whole thing. I haven't even had that option. So I've sort of been forced to work with the footage that I have. So I apologize if it's been a little boring, but I'm hoping that I can pick things up and at least do some shorter videos and focus on making them a little better. So I am committing to another 8 hours of editing for Ulta, and then I'm done, and I'm probably not going to do it ever again. I don't know. I mean, if you're interested in this, please let me know because I'll definitely keep doing it if that's the case. But otherwise, onward and upward. We have plenty more sales to come. Holiday stuff is starting to drop left and right. I have like a ton of new makeup palettes to go over. Today I'm wearing the Danessa Myricks Lightworks 6, the Freedom palette on my eyes, and I really love my eye look. Unfortunately, I had like an allergy attack as soon as I finished it, so this eye is a little bit patchy, but the colors are stunning. It's a beautiful traveling case. I am so grateful that somebody has come in and replaced the mothership excitement that I used to get. Like, it's stupid, but I miss that. I miss getting excited for a mothership every year, and I feel like this has taken its place, and if anything, it's more exciting. So, really happy about that. I'm going to continue playing with it and talk about that in a video down the line, and if I can, I'll film at least one more video this week and hopefully get back to my 2 videos a week because that is definitely my goal. Anyway, if you've sat through any or all of this, thank you so much. I love you with my whole heart. I hope you're having a beautiful week and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.